Okay, hello. So today I want to make another video talking about some hi-fi stuff, mainly talking about why I think that ripping CD there are some criteria or some preferences that I want to share with you that how to rip CDs. Okay. So there are two main aspects that I want to talk about. First, what device, what hardware is the most optimal to rip CDs, and second, what file format is the most optimal to rip CDs. Okay, so my opinion, it's gonna be much different from what it are already existing on the internet, on the YouTube or whatever. It's more or less my own opinion, and I think and why I want to make this video in the first place, because I think my opinion is worth sharing. Okay, and I hope all music lovers will benefit or get some help from my video or my opinion. Okay, so by the way, you know some valuable things that just don't come quickly and don't come just straight up to you. So you have to be patient, and let's start by explaining that why I use this background picture, because I'm making this video on a PS5 Pro and a PS5 official camera. So I had to put up a game and start a broadcast in order to let my face appear. So I just chose this game, which is ISO 9, and because I think the title screen is pretty beautiful. Okay, so let's start. First, I think as long as you are a serious music lover, especially you like classical music over other kinds of music. What I mean is you listen to classical music like more than 80% or even 90%, 95% of all music. Then I think you should definitely use a most expensive or most premium CD ripper you can afford. So why do I think so? Because music is not about data. Music is not all about data. So data ensures the correctness, which is the basic stuff, which is the most basic stuff of music playback. Okay, so I know that when comparing hashtags or fingerprints of the files that are ripped from a very cheap ripper or even a very cheap CD-ROM, just a very basic CD-ROM of a computer CD-ROM, to a very high-end specific CD ripper, that the fingerprints or the hashtags are the same, and the wave picture or the wave diagram in the certain just sound wave analyzing softwares that are the exact same. So they should sound the same, right? Yes. Yes, I agree that they sound the exact same. Actually, if I test myself with a strict blind A/B test, I will most likely fail. All right, so I can distinguish between them. But what's the purpose, or why do I still want to purchase and use a high-end CD ripper to rip CDs? Because it's not about the sound quality, okay? It's about treating my CDs properly and holding, as if holding a ceremony, okay? And you know, when you do that, when you spend extra money, and most likely when you spend extra time, extra effort, extra research effort, and extra, dedication into that, and what will you ultimately achieve, or what will you ultimately get? I think you will ultimately be more attentive, or be more careful, to listen to the music, or to listen to the music more attentively or more carefully. Don't you think so? Especially when coming to classical music, So for classical music, there's many recordings that are worth listening to several times. Not only 2 or 3 times, but maybe even more times. So when you know in your heart that this particular track or this particular album, you ripped that album with premium or high-end or very expensive ripper, that you will treat it more carefully, or you will treat it more seriously in your subconsciousness. So you will ultimately get more out of the music, right? So that's the first aspect. The second aspect, actually there are 3 aspects that I want to discuss. Okay, so what's the second? The second aspect is, what file format should you rip your CD into? So there are 2 main formats: one, WAV, and second, FLAC. Okay, so for this, I just want to make this short and straightforward. That I think you should always rip to WAV, because similar reasons. Okay, similar reasons. So WAV, you can say that because of the single fact. Okay, the single fact that the WAV has larger file size and is an absolutely uncompressed format compared to FLAC. So it will give you a psychological advantage, or a psychological sense or subconsciousness that you are treating your music, you are treating your CD more seriously. So ultimately, you will get more out of your music. Okay, so that's the reason you should always rip to WAV, even if the same as the first aspect, even if the sound quality is the exact same. Okay, so the third aspect is actually, what's the third aspect? I just came into that real quick, just like 2 minutes ago, but now I can't remember. Okay, let me think about it for a moment. The third aspect is Yeah. Third aspect. So, some people argue that they prefer FLAC anyways because FLAC can carry more metadata than WAV. For example, they want to see the cover photo of the album, and if they rip to WAV, then they can't see the cover photo of the album. But I think that's not necessary at all because do you really stare at the cover photo when you are listening to the music? Like when you turn on your DAP, or something, do you really look at that picture when you're listening to your music? Actually, for 99% of the time, when the music starts playing, I just turn the screen of my DAP off, right? So I personally don't understand why some of you insist in making the album cover visible. I don't think that's needed or necessary. Yeah, when listening to the music, I normally just maybe either browsing some web pages on my phone, or I just close my eyes and enjoy the music, right? So I think I personally think there's no need to, or there's no reason to preserve the cover whatsoever. All right, so that's basically my point. I think as long as you're a serious music lover, then I think you should spend more money compared to less serious music lovers. Okay, so that will all achieve. That's only to achieve all that. That's solely the purpose, or the ultimate purpose, is to get the most out of your music. In this way, not physically, but you can say it's psychologically, right? It's more psychologically. But when there is a benefit psychologically, then it will ultimately affect the attentiveness or the information you perceive when listening to the music. Okay, I hope that I make my points very clear. So I hope this video will help, or maybe even become the definite answer or the last answer to this controversy, or to this battle between whether to use a very expensive CD ripper or which format should you rip into. Okay.